What's up, Nitwits? How you doing? Sweetie Knit at 504 coming back at you. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so this is the hat that I was working on my last video. Is it fierce? I think it's very fierce. Woo. I was really not working on it for all that much longer after the last video, but I got involved like doing other stuff and things. Bitch, where is my editor? Get all these ums out of my mouth. I don't know if an editor can really do that. Who could say though? Once I have somebody edit this video, I'll be doing better. But yeah, so what's up with nitwits? I'm thinking that's gonna be my new like hey phrase. So right, I think that's kind of fierce. Let me know what you think about it. Leave me a comment. DM me. No, is that a good idea? I don't know. Anyway, so leave me a comment. Let me know if what's up nitwits is the way, or maybe I should come up with something else like what's up witness. I don't know if that's really a word. Maybe it'll be maybe a whole neologism. A neologism is a new word. You see, it was just some other person, uneducated bitch saying some word they made up. It's just something they made up. When you have a bunch of college degrees, it's a neologism. I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound like an international snob. Is that how I come off? Oh no. Anyway, so yeah, so this is my new hat. I think it's fierce. A lot of you will know that today is really December 18th, which was actually I guess now it was yesterday because it's a little bit after midnight now. But so December 18th is a very important day to me. It's three things. It's my best friend's birthday. Hey girl, happy birthday! Which I already like texted Wexley with her about that. Um, it's also the 15th anniversary of the day I learned to knit, which was to say December 18th, 2005. A day that will live in infamy. And most recently, and arguably most importantly, I say arguably, don't argue with me about it. Today was the day that I stopped. Today, 2 years ago today, is the day that I stopped using drugs and alcohol. And it was mostly drugs, okay? It's like, I mean, a lot of my story, I go to these AA meetings and I like totally identify and I get it with alcoholics, but bitch, I was on drugs. I felt like booze was like for old people. I was like, oh, girl, that's for people from like the 1930s or whatever. I was like, I'm from the future. I take drugs. Sick. So, but I definitely had the ism, right? Like I totally had that thing, and I couldn't stop. I didn't know how to stop. I didn't want to stop. I flatly did not want to stop. I remember going into rehab after. I mean, some pretty terrible things had to happen to get me to rehab, right? I don't think anybody goes into that on a win. Um, so yeah, 2 years ago on this day, I was staying on somebody's couch, or actually on a bed that I bought in a house where I was paying my share of the bills, living with somebody who was unstable and who decided to throw me out when I no longer had any more drugs to supply them with. Like they gave me like 20 minutes notice. Ooh. And I mean, I had like all these clothes, I had all these DVDs, and I had all this stuff, right? Furniture. Yeah, because P.S. Like when I lost my previous apartment, I stored my furniture at this person's apartment, and they kept it. And they didn't have not one stick of furniture besides some trifling ass mattress that they threw on the floor. But I'm not bitter about it. Actually, you know what? I'm really not. Like, I mean, I'm working on letting go of it. It's been 2 years. I don't fucking let go of it, huh? Oh, language, Sam. Language. Where's my editor? Bleep, bleep. Maybe somebody could go back in and bleep that out. Along with that fucking cursing too. Bad, bad, bad. Anyway, so 2 years ago, I was living with somebody. They put me out in the middle of the night, along with their ex-boyfriend. I mean, I didn't get put out along with the ex-boyfriend. The ex-boyfriend turned out to be living there after the person I was living with told me that they had sent him away, like to another state. Trifling, just trifling. The whole situation was trifling, and it was all of my making because I knew the person I was staying with was unstable. Like I knew they were kind of nutty, and I knew they were unstable, and I knew they're violent, and they got nutty and unstable and threatened me with a lot of violence. And it never really got violent between us, but it definitely got really threatening and really just mean. and I couldn't look at it for what it was. Like I couldn't take any responsibility for it at the time. Like now I see where, yeah, I knew all this was coming, and I totally, I tied myself to those railroad tracks, and then I had the nerve to act like, oh, this person did me something. That person never did me nothing that I didn't sign up for, that I didn't let them do. And the reason why I think I let them do all that was to fulfill like my viewpoint of myself as a victim. Today all I drink is spring water. Yeah, I had to get rid of the cold drinks, like, or as I think people in other parts of the United States say, pops or sodas. I call them cold drinks. Down, but that's what I think a lot of people here in New Orleans call them, cold drinks. Yeah, so I have cut those out, but yeah, it's mostly just water these days. Maybe the occasional fruit juice. I like a little blueberry and pomegranate juice. It's delicious. Anyway, so this queen I was living with tossed me out in the street in the middle of the night, and I mean, it took me, I'm being super dramatic about it. It actually took me a little bit more than that to actually be completely tossed out, because I sat there and argued with them. And I mean, it took a little minute. But, ultimately, I was in a place where there was nobody left in New Orleans, and New Orleans is not a big city. But to say I've been living here since 1993, I didn't have one friend who would let me stay with them. No, people didn't want me in their house. They certainly didn't want me in their house unsupervised. Um, and it was 7 days till Christmas, and I didn't know if I was going to make it through. So trigger warning, suicidal ideation, right? Because I totally thought that I was going to kill myself before Christmas. I had just lost my grandmother a couple months before that, which was super hard because we were very close. And yeah, so the one friend that I had that would still talk to me, mercifully, had what's the word I'm looking for? Foresight is maybe not the word, but the acumen. I don't know exactly what the word is. But yeah, it was basically, yeah, Sam, you need to check yourself into a mental hospital, and then from there you need to go to rehab because you're off bad, girl. Like, and so that's how it went. I went to a crazy house for 10 days. Let me tell you something. Christmas in the crazy house was crazy. Um, New Year's Eve in the rehab was kind of festive for what it was. Um, but yeah, by the time that I got to rehab, like, I mean, I had no choice but to admit that, like, my shit was that I was powerless and my shit was unmanageable. Like, I mean, I was obviously unmanageable. And from that point on, the rest of those steps kind of like just kind of fell into place. And I'm here to tell you, like, I don't necessarily know that 12 steps work for everybody. They work for me with with the drug problem and with the alcohol. I mean, and with the drug and alcohol problem, with the whole substance issue. I mean, so yeah, 2 years later, I'm having used these substances, so I'm saying it's working. Um, and I've been through kind of a lot of stuff in the past like couple of years, especially the past few months, and we all have, right? Because at the time of this recording, it's kind of it's like this pandemic has been going on for a while now. This coronavirus is still real. The vaccine has only just been released to like essential folks. So like as of this moment, I mean, the world is still a crazy place. The past like year has been super difficult for me. I lost two of my cousins to cancer. One kind of at the beginning of the pandemic, and the other one a few months later. I cannot even remember when it was, to tell you the truth. I lost not a bunch of friends, but like kind of a lot of peers to the coronavirus. Like people I went to high school with, people that folks that I knew. Like not anybody that not so far, not anybody that I'm super close with. But the worst part of it was losing my sister though, because she was so young and it was so unexpected. But because I had a program, because my other sister and I had this program to kind of fall back on, I was able to walk through that, and I was able to live through it without getting loaded, without getting high, without getting drunk. And part of my full disclosure here is that I live in a sober living house. So if I had gotten drunk or loaded or whatever during that period of time, yeah, there would be no more house. Like I would have no place to stay. And I guess nobody would have faulted me for getting loaded when my sister had just passed away, but I would have, and I'm sure that she kind of would have too. She was so proud that I got sober. She was so happy that I was moving towards healing, and then I lost her. And my other sister lost her too. And because we're both sober, we were able to be there for each other. We didn't have to run away because that's what I spent a lot of my younger life doing was running away. Now I don't have to do that, and that's something I'm grateful for today. Um, and I totally do like all those like kind of things that you hear about people doing when they're like when they're sober. I start my day with a gratitude list. I end my night with a gratitude list. I try to look at like my part in things. Like I also do like a nightly inventory where I look at like okay, where was I out of hand, and what could I have done better, and do I owe anybody apology? Those kind of things. And like I said, I don't think it's necessarily for everybody. It's working for me, you know. Um, and I'm not telling you all this, to brag about being clean and sober for 2 years. I'm telling you all this because if you're struggling, you don't have to. You can get clean too, and it doesn't have to be the way I did it. It doesn't have to be. You can totally do whatever, but don't do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. You can find help. The help is out there. Google it. Like I'm not a counselor. I'm not any of those things. But what I am is to coin a phrase, but it's not coining a phrase. It's totally using a totally different phrase. What I am is happy, joyous, and free. What I am is not dependent. you know. And I'm not telling you that like that that I do the whole thing perfectly because obviously like I've kind of switched addictions a little bit with the food. Also, maybe I have a little bit of process issue with the knitting. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I have a little bit of a hoarding disorder. Yeah, I'm totally not open to this. I literally just put all this yarn back up in this closet because somebody asked me to make them something, and I was like, I don't know if I have those colors. And the thing is, I don't. Like, I have to go buy more yarn. Anyway, so if you're wondering what I'm working on right now to change pace, just have a little. Did you get whiplash from that? I think I see. I need to look up here, right? I need to look here, here. Look at the green light, Sam. Look at the green light. Yeah. So if you wonder what I'm working on today or tonight, it's actually tonight. Yeah, it's like almost 1 a.m. This this is the scarf that's going to match the hat that I'm wearing now. Um, and this is kind of one of those things to where I'm just going to work on this panel until I maybe not until I run out of yarn because I have kind of a lot of this yarn, but until it gets to be like a length that I deem appropriate, and then I will be done with this project and I'll be moving on to something else. I'm actually this is kind of I'm really only doing this right now because I don't have that. I somebody asked me to make something for them in specific colors that I don't have, so I have to go yarn shopping tomorrow for a little purple, red, and black yarn to make a hat with for one of my 12-step friends. So yeah, I'll be doing some shopping tomorrow at the LCS, aka Michael's. um, but yeah, I'll be out there late tomorrow to do that. And then I'm going to put this project down. Then I'm going to work on the project that I've already been paid to do. And isn't it interesting that like she actually like somebody that didn't even watch my last video materialized in my life and paid me for a project, and now I can pay my bills. See, I'm provided for. That's what I love about my life today is the way that I'm provided for. I love that. Yeah, so everybody's going crazy about the Mandalorian. I call it Mandadorkian. I'm just being horrible. I don't have any strong opinion about Mandalorian or any of the whole Star Wars franchise. It's not for me. Like I tried, like I really tried, but I can't get into it. Like I tried watching like the. I'm not old enough to have gone to see the first movie, but I am old. But I remember going to see the second one when I was like a little kid. And when I was a little kid, I could never sit. I could never sit through movies. Like I would always fall asleep, in the movie theater. And then I just watched it on TV and stuff, and like on at people's houses and things. I'm just not into it. And then when they came out with the prequels, they're prequels, okay? It's not. I'm not calling it Chapter One. When they came out with that set of prequel films, I'm not calling that Chapter One. Um, I watched the first one of those, and I was like, yeah, okay, I see why people are into it. It ain't me. Kind of like the Lord of the Rings stuff. Cool, I get it. Like I'm a Doctor Who fan. I understand fandom. It ain't for me. Game of Thrones, same thing. On the other hand, any so far, even the most problematic DC like superhero show, I'm into it. Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, The Flash, Black Lightning. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to sit down with Stargirl. Ooh, am I missing anything? Arrow, of course, Arrow. How could I forget Arrow? It's so good. Um, Titans, Doom Patrol. Ooh. That reminds me, I'm in the middle of season 2 of Doom Patrol. Maybe I'll watch some of that tonight before I go to bed. I don't know, it's getting kind of late. Maybe I should just eat me some of these melatonin gummies and go to bed. Oh, bitch, it's like 111. 111, make a wish. Oh, I think that's 1111 or 222. But I don't know, I'll take make a wish at 111. Oh, look, it came true. You're here watching me. Um, yeah, anyway, so thanks for watching. This was fun. Don't forget, Christmas is coming. What are you getting me for Christmas? Likes? Views? Thumbs up? Comments? Yeah, anyway, yeah. So I'm still having to work on this outro thing. I was going to say bye, but I really think I do not want that Alaska gal to like come and exterminate me about that. So I guess I'll just say I was going to say Pip Pip for now, but then I think Robin Leach. If I don't know if he would do this, but his people would probably. Oh, so if you don't know who Robin Leach is, and I know there's probably like any number of young people who don't know who that is. He was this man back in the 80s who used to host this TV show called Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, which was capitalism's way to make us want stuff that we didn't need to have because we didn't have enough advertising already on television and the media. And so this terrible tacky show about these awful rich people, I'm sure Donald Trump was on the show a lot, I really don't remember, had this host, his name was Robin Leach, which I thought was so appropriate, because he was leeching the life out of people. Um, so he would do the same way, he'd say, pip, pip for now. Like that would be his like goodbye phrase. I'm still having to work on this. So I guess I will just say goodbye, don't sigh. No, I'm not going to say that. That's stupid. Um, ta-ra. How about ta-ra? Ta-ra. See you next time. Praise be. Don't sue me, Margaret Atwood. Look, yeah, I'm into. Oh, also, I'm into the house. Handmaid's Tale. Do not sue me, Margaret Atwood. I don't have nothing. I don't have nothing. Well, that was a double negative. I mean, I have nothing. Just like Whitney. Okay, now I can't sing that Whitney Houston song because I'm totally gonna get sued by her people. Bye. Bye. Praise.